It was supposed to be just another quiet afternoon at the roadside diner. Engines roared in the distance as a group of rugged bikers, the Hells Angels, pulled up, their leather jackets glistening under the sun. The crowd went silent, afraid even to look at them. But then, something no one could have imagined happened. A little girl, no more than 7 years old, barefoot, covered in dust, came running down the road, tears streaming down her face. She stumbled, gasping for breath, and ran straight toward the biggest biker in the group. Everyone froze, expecting her to be terrified of them. Instead, she looked up at him, trembling, and cried, "Please, save my mom! They're going to hurt her! Please, help us!" In that single moment, the world seemed to stop. The bikers exchanged glances. These were men known for their toughness, their silence, their rebellion. But behind those dark glasses and tattoos, something deeper stirred. A spark of humanity that even they couldn't ignore. What happened next would change not only that little girl's life, but theirs forever. Her name was Lily, and her voice trembled as she tried to speak between sobs. The leader of the bikers, Jack Grizzly Malone, knelt down, his voice gentle but firm. "Slow down. Sweetheart. Tell me what happened." Lily wiped her tears and pointed toward a narrow dirt road leading into the woods. "Mom was trying to help a man whose truck broke down. But then his friends came. They're hurting her. Please, mister, please hurry." Without a second thought, Grizzly's eyes hardened. He turned to his men and barked, "Mount up. Let's go." The engines thundered to life. The kind of sound that shakes the ground and your soul. Dust kicked up as they followed the girl's lead down the twisting road, hearts pounding. When they reached the clearing, they saw an old pickup truck, its hood open, and a woman, Lily's mother, pinned against the side by 2 men. Her clothes were torn, her face bruised, and her screams echoed through the trees. Grizzly's blood boiled. "Itchy!" he roared, his voice like thunder. The attackers turned, but it was too late. Within seconds, the bikers surrounded them, their engines growling like beasts ready to strike. One of the men reached for a knife, but a biker's boot sent it flying into the dirt. "Get your hands off her," Grizzly growled, stepping forward. "Now." The men stumbled back, terrified. They didn't know what kind of justice they'd just awakened. The bikers didn't need to swing fists. Their presence alone was enough to send fear down anyone's spine. Lily ran to her mother, crying as she wrapped her arms around her waist. The woman, Sarah, fell to her knees, holding her daughter tight, whispering through tears, "It's okay. Baby, you're safe now." A grizzly looked at them. The mother trembling, the child clutching her as if afraid to let go, and something inside him broke. Maybe it was the memory of his own daughter he hadn't seen in years. Maybe it was guilt, or maybe it was grace. But in that moment, he knew this wasn't just another day on the road. The police came later that evening, after one of the bikers called them anonymously. The men who attacked Sarah were taken away, but the bikers stayed behind to make sure the mother and daughter were safe. They offered to tow the broken truck back to town. Sarah tried to thank them, but her voice shook. "I don't know how to repay you," she said softly. Grizzly shrugged. "You already did, Mom," he said. "You reminded us what it means to stand for something good." The next day, the Hells Angels fixed the truck in their own garage. They brought food, blankets, even toys for Lily. The little girl started calling them Mom's Angels. And somehow, that name stuck. As days passed, Sarah opened up about her struggles. She was a single mother working double shifts, trying to make ends meet after her husband died. Her car breaking down that day had felt like the universe giving up on her. Until those bikers showed up. Grizzly listened quietly. His past was rough. Prison time, lost family. Regrets that kept him awake at night. But seeing Lily smile again gave him something he hadn't felt in years: purpose. Before they left town, Sarah and Lily came to see them off. Lily handed Grizzly a small, hand-drawn picture. It was of her, her mom, and the bikers, all holding hands under a blue sky. On the bottom she wrote in shaky letters, "Thank you, my angels." The grizzly couldn't speak. He just smiled and placed his hand on her head. "Keep being brave, kiddo. You saved your mom. We just gave you a little help." As the engines roared to life and the bikes disappeared down the road, Sarah whispered, "Angels do exist, they just wear leather sometimes. Sometimes, help comes from the most unexpected places. We often judge people by how they look. By the tattoos, the noise, the reputation. But behind every face, there's a story, and behind every heart, a spark of goodness waiting to shine." That day, a little girl's courage met a group of men society had given up on. And together, they reminded the world that kindness knows no boundaries. Because real heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes, they ride Harleys.